out again. So weird. Huh. I have to do captures again. Frustrating. It's also gone off the screen. So weird. So fucking weird. Gemini, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. That's a really nice thing to see as the first message in the stream. Welcome. That's a name that sounds a bit unfamiliar. Don't think I've seen you here before. Thank you for joining me. How am I doing? Pretty good, thanks. I hope you're doing well. Like every fucking day is a roller coaster, but you know, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's the only way I know how to cope. So, yeah. I feel like the background music is too soft. It's like just way too soft. Cool. So Gemini, you're the first one in the queue. Thank you. I'll help you out in a sec. Suhana, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. And even if you're not feeling all that well, I hope you're still putting one foot in front of the other foot and, you know, walking towards your outcome. Amberly Daniels, a new name that I haven't seen before, welcome. Yeah, I love having new faces in the chat. And welcome back, Kinza Khan, been a while, but welcome. Okay, so this first reading I'm giving is for Gemini on YouTube. Big Chewy Failson, welcome back. It's nice to have you. And yeah, of course, you will be second in the queue. You're the second one to join the queue with a question. How is Gemini Scorpio perceiving her? Hello, Amberly Daniels. I'm sure I greeted. Maybe you didn't hear me, but I'll greet again. Hello, Amberly Daniels. Welcome. So Gemini, your first card here is the Eight of Wands. So this is a cool card. Basically, this is saying that your Scorpio has been like feeling proud of you. You know come and what you're gonna have to let go of and what you're gonna have to adapt into your life in order to accomplish your desires. And basically he's been watching you do that recently, even if it's just over text or whatever, or if he's watching your Facebook wall or whatever it is. He's seeing that that process is happening. You're making those changes that you need to make, and he's feeling quite proud of you for that reason. Okay, we've got a Knight of Wands in the present, and he's reversed. So this card is kind of saying that even though you're making these changes and you're working towards what you desire, there are times when you feel really hopeless. You like step out to do something, and then it doesn't have the results you expect, and it leaves you feeling like hopeless and discouraged and demotivated. So in the present, you're having like this, you're re-examining what your intention is for actually stepping out to do that, whatever it is, whatever offering you have, whatever services you provide, or whatever it is. If you're doing art or if you're writing articles, so you're readjusting your intention, realizing that hey, if I want to stop feeling this demotivated feeling, then I need to have a different intention going out there. I can't expect a certain kind of reaction from my audience, or the people that see the art, or the people that read the posts, or whatever it might be. I've got to do it for myself, and I've got to do it for their sake, not the action they're going to give me. And this is also applying to Scorpio. So when you like reach out to him or you send him a message or whatever, you feel demotivated because the reaction you get isn't what you were expecting. So again, you're re-examining your intention. Like instead of saying, okay, I'm going to send him a message so that we can have a conversation, I'm going to send him a message to brighten his day. That way I won't get demotivated if I don't get a response. Future interval. It's number 12, the Hanged Man. He's also reversed. This is just saying that all of these things that you're going through, all these changes you've made, all of these rebirths you're doing with your intentions right now, all of that is a long time coming. So the reason you're doing this is in order to make breakthroughs. You feel like you've been a little bit stagnant. So it's a long time coming. All of these challenges and resistances kept coming up, and they like were piling on top of you, making you more and more and more stagnant. So the card is just warning that as you go ahead, you're going to have to really knuckle down and keep on enduring. Any changes you make to your intentions, you need to at least be consistent with them for at least a month to see if it's working before you change it again. And the same applies to these changes, these shifts and adaptations you're making, and letting go of all that don't serve you. Again, all those things that you're changing and adjusting, you've got to stay consistent with it for at least a month before you can say whether it's working for you or not. And that's basically what that card is saying. It's going to say really knuckle down, because these changes, they're going to take a little bit of a while before they affect your reality. So have that enduring spirit and push through. And yeah, that's your reading. So I don't know if anyone else is getting the ASMR, because I'm feeling the ASMR. You know, that like buzzing ASMR response. Welcome everybody. Welcome Teetara and Deepak. Welcome guys. So next in my queue is Big Chewy Failson, followed by Suhana, So Big Chewy Failson is on Twitch and Suhana is on YouTube, and then after that I've got a Teetara also on YouTube. So those are who is in the queue so far, and then Deepak has joined the queue. Deepak, please don't spam. You only need to ask your question once, although I'm afraid I can't read it. I know it's something to do with the job, but I'm afraid I can't read it. It's in a language I don't speak. Anyway. Reading for Suhana next. For Big Chewy Failson. And then Suhana. Cool. Deepak, you are in the queue. KM Batul, you're in the queue. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your patience. Big Chewy Failson wants to know, can I hear how to deal with the feelings that keep me from giving more to the world? Okay. Okay, I like that question. What advice does the universe have of Big Chewy Failson regarding these difficult feelings he has that keep him from fulfilling his purpose? Okay, so your first card here is the Ten of Swords. This is just showing up to say you have already completed a purpose. So purpose is something that goes in cycles. When you identify what your heart desires and what you actually want, and what you want to do, what you want to give, what you want to receive, and then you apply a will to accomplish it, that is when purpose has been set. So this card is saying that you've recently reached the end of a purpose. You went out of your way. You actually applied your will to accomplish something that you desired. You reached for that purpose and you went through the full cycle, and it has come to a close. And that's kind of where you are right now, asking what can you do to give more to the world? How can you do better with these feelings? You're setting new purpose in the present. And that is, because what you were doing has come to a close. I remember a while ago you were dealing with family issues. So that purpose that you set in order to bring more I won't forget you, Teetara. In order to bring more harmony into your home space, that purpose that you set has now come to a close. Whether or not that harmony has been accomplished, something has shifted, something has changed, is in the process. So let's look at the present card. Okay, so the present card is the Eight of Swords, reversed. So this is saying that there are certain habits and there are certain lifestyle habits. It's really just talking about lifestyle habits, certain lifestyle way of existing that doesn't serve you anymore, that doesn't serve this purpose of giving to the world. Whatever it is you want to give to humanity and the collective, there are certain habits and certain aspects of your lifestyle that are not serving that purpose. And this doesn't help you with the difficult feelings that come up. These difficult feelings kind of send you into those habits that don't serve you. Habits maybe like binge watching series, or I don't want to say this on stream, but I'm gonna say it anyway: chronic masturbation, sex addiction, video gaming, things that distract you kind of. So you get these difficult feelings and then you distract yourself from them instead of facing them. And basically what this card wants to say to you is that you're going to have to let go of those habits that don't serve you. And it doesn't have to happen right away. You just first got to make the conscious decision to let go of those things. And then, work with the one that's the biggest hindrance for you. And slowly work it out. Just cut it down, reduce its quantity, reduce the amount you indulge in it, whether that's overeating or video gaming or any of these things that I mentioned. Like, reduce the amount of time you spend doing that until you can say, okay, I'm ready to let go of it, and then move on to the next thing. Because there is a certain kind of character that gives to the world what you want to give. There's a certain kind of person that you have to become, and these habits hold you back from becoming that person. And then the other thing that that card has for you is when you feel these difficult feelings, do something creative. Because if you react to them and you go and distract yourself, you take yourself away from that purpose of giving to the world, of contributing. If you do something creative, you are giving something to the world. Even if in that moment the world's not receiving it, you are creating something that can influence the world. So yeah, do something creative or something constructive regardless of those difficult feelings. Instead of reacting to it. So instead of like doing something debaucherous or something distracting or addictive, do something creative. Make that your addiction. The future interval card here is the Ace of Wands. So this is saying as you go forward, it's just important that you communicate this. And communicate it to the people that you interact with, people you're close to, people that you trust. Communicate what your desire is, what it is you want to be giving to the world. Communicating these changes that you want to make in your reality, because there are other people around you who are used to you behaving a certain way, and so there might be resistances or confusion or frustration that comes up for those people if they're seeing you make these changes and they don't understand what's going on. So the communication there is key, and Wands is about intentions more than anything else. So communicating your intentions for why you want to contribute to the world, communicating your intentions for why you're making these shifts and why you're letting go of certain habits and certain lifestyle. Because you know, there are certain friends, like for me, if I'm going to make a lifestyle shift, then there are certain things that I did with other people, and that was like our hangout thing. So now I want to make this shift. It means I have to cut that out of my life, and that means spending less time with those people, and then they feel kind of rejected or pushed away. So communication here is key as you move forward. And that's your reading. Next up is Suhana. So, what's on the table for Suhana's relationship, or Savita's relationship with Arjun? You're welcome, Big Chewy. You're most welcome. So, Suhana, your past interval card here is the Fool. He's reversed. So this is kind of saying that the relationship, it had like a cycle. It had like this pattern that it would repeat. Arguing, make up, distance, arguing, make up, distance. That kind of cycle was being repeated, and there was opportunity to step into a new cycle by making some changes to your character individually, or setting like a routine, maybe a once a week date, whatever it was, but there was resistance to it. Like, even though the things were spoken about, you guys didn't step into the new cycle. And even though it was communicated that this is what you'd like to change or incorporate in order to find a new cycle, a new like healthier cycle, there was resistance to actually stepping out and doing it. But that's coming to a close now, which is saying that you have made those steps. In the present, we've got number 13. Death card reversed. So this card is indicating to me that the relationship is in a little bit of a pickle in the present. So, yeah. It's a rebirth. It's an ending, but it's also a beginning. It might, basically this card is saying that in the present it might feel like the relationship is over, it's done. And it might very well be done. we'll see what the future card has to say. But that card just wants to say to you that whether or not this relationship is over, this rebirth, this change that's come, even though it's painful, it's actually healthy for you. It's going to bring you closer to what's authentic for you, open up doorways for you to live a life that's more authentic to who you are, where you can actually be happier. Whether or not the relationship comes back together, or if it stays permanently apart, it is better for you. Whatever this death card is bringing for you, it's going to bring you closer to health. It's going to bring you closer to alignment and authenticity. Future interval is Queen of Wands reversed. So this card is saying that you've wanted the relationship so badly, and you've been so afraid of losing it, that you ended up as a byproduct pushing him away. That constant fear of losing it has made it real. Yeah, this Queen of Wands, it talks about trying to convince someone of something all the time. Like, because you doubt yourself, you're trying to convince the other person of what you're doubting. And that can push people away. So that's basically what that card is saying to me, is what has happened. This rebirth, this ending and new beginning has happened because of that. Because of doubting your relationship and doubting your value in the relationship and doubting whether or not you're being treated properly. So then you end up like projecting that, talking about it so passionately because you want to convince him that the relationship can work. Now, he didn't need to be convinced. It was you that needed to be convinced. And all of that of you projecting to him pushed him away. Or Savita or Arjun, one or the other, or both. But that is the conclusion of your reading. Welcome, Cinderella. So I do have alerts, and if you had subscribed I would have been notified. So yeah, I appreciate the subscribe, but I know you haven't actually hit the button yet. Hey Lavena, welcome. You're in the queue. You're welcome, Suhana. I'm sorry that I didn't have better news for you, but hey. So up next we have Teetara, and then we have KM Batul, and then Emily, you're in the queue. You're asking a question, added to the queue automatically. So we've got Teetara, KM Batul, Emily or Emi, Cinderella, and then Lavena. Up next is Teetara. Thank you for sharing the live, Lavena. Much appreciation. Welcome, Lavena. So Deepak, I'm actually about to kick you out because you spammed, even though I asked you very politely not to spam. So yeah, sorry for you. So crazy. My network is like messing around. Crazy. network is just messing around, guys. I've got no more chat. Like, I don't even know if you guys can still see me. Am I even still connected? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this machine and reconnect it, and if it's not working after that, then I know something's up. Nope, something's up. I've been disconnected. Okay, there I'm back. So weird. So weird. So weird. Thanks for your patience. I don't know if my stream disconnected at all, but my chat did, and yeah. So, Teetara, if you're still here, please let me know. Hey Mary, welcome. I'm gonna assume Mary is still here because the viewer counter hasn't really changed. I mean, Teetara. So, if I move to the city of M in the faraway future, how will be our sentimental relationship? Good, bad, cheating? I don't want to move to an horrible love experience. Love my ass off. Thanks in advance. So please confirm, Teetara, that you're here. Okay, moving on. Maybe you can't hear me, I don't know. Maybe I'm disconnected, I can't really tell. Oh, you are, cool. Thank you for your patience. How will Teetara's reality change if she makes this move? How will her relationship look and her reality? How will it look after this move? Welcome, Exclaim. I'm doing good, thanks. How about you? You know, honestly, every day is an emotional roller coaster. Every day is like this up and down. Every little thing here is like a trigger, either a glimmer or a trigger sending me into depression or mania. So it's like this big fucking roller coaster. But yeah, you know, the only way to cope is to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Ah. My own video is playing here in the background. What? So my goal has disappeared. My alerts have disappeared. So weird. Anyway. Teetara, Prince of Discs, is your first card. He's reversed. The Prince of Discs is like, he is willing to endure any kind of resistance or any kind of challenge regarding his physical space. So if that's a physically intimate relationship, or if that's work, or if that's fitness, he just pushes through. You know, it doesn't matter how much resistance he faces, he keeps pushing through. And that space relationship has looked until now. This has been you. This relationship has been really important to you. So you just push through no matter how much resistance there is to it. The distance, whether he cheats on you or not, all of these things, you just keep pushing through. You don't let anything hinder you. You push through no matter what. That's what it has looked like for you. Present interval is the 9 of Wands. So in the present, this card wants to say to you, have a look at this relationship so far. What have his intentions been? Has he cheated on you? Has the relationship been good? Has the relationship been bad? Because these things are not going to change if you move. You know, if the relationship has been good, then it will be good when you are together. There will be difficulties as you have to integrate with each other and learn to be flexible and live in the same space. But if the relationship has been good as it is, the relationship will be good there. If the relationship has been bad as it is, then the relationship will be bad when you get there. It might seem okay or good when you run. It might be okay for a little while, but it will be the way it has been, one way or another, for better or worse. So the card is just saying to you, have a little reflection, have a little bit of self-reflection, look on the relationship so far. How has it been? When there have been difficulties, acknowledge your own place in there, in those difficulties. Like if there's been some distance between you, have you had a part to play in creating that distance? If there's resentment that has happened, same thing. See if there's any part you had to play in that. I mean, there's always a part that we play in it, but basically I want you to take responsibility for your part. And also just to be sure that you're not moving there in order to improve an already terrible relationship, because if the relationship is terrible and then you move there, it's going to continue to be terrible. If the relationship has been good and fulfilling, then when you move there, it will be good and fulfilling. That's what that card is saying to you. Future interval is a Knight of Swords, reversed. This is saying to you that your goals are going to they're going to be reborn. Like what you've been working towards to accomplish, all of those things are going to be reborn if you move. Like everything that you've been developing where you currently are, relationships, work, whatever it is that you've been doing here, it's all going to fall away. Everything that you have, you're going to have to let go of if you make this move and start from afresh. So you will still be in contact. There will still be opportunities from where you came from, but for the most part, you're gonna have to leave everything behind and start over. And that card wants you to ask yourself: is it worth it? Is this relationship really worth it? And that is your reading. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this thing that's going on here. See if I can like reset this stuff quickly. Nope, it doesn't look like I can. Something really weird is going on. Something super weird is going on. My alerts and my donation things. Seems to be still nothing. Still nothing. It's just not working. Giodi, hi, Sahu, welcome back. Nice to see you guys. Exclaim says, I'm doing good. I found out that I was not eating correctly. I was eating too fast. Today I took time to mash my food in my mouth and I was way less hungry. Well done, Exclaim. That is yeah. It's really important to chew your food correctly. So basically next in the queue is KM Batul. So Batul or KM, please let me know if you're here. Shagan, you didn't miss your turn? Nope. So weird. So KM Batul is about to miss his turn though, or her turn. Emmy, Emmy, KM Batul, Emmy, Cinderella, Lavena. Okay, Emmy is here. Cool. I have no idea at this point, Shagan. I have no idea how many are ahead of you. When and how can Emi secure a job? So what's that wild card saying? It's number 3. This card is saying to you, gotta nourish your plans by being aware of what's actually required to make them happen. So you have ideas of what you want to do to manifest this job. Now there are certain responsibilities that are going to come with that, So you have a plan, now there are responsibilities and actions that you have to take. And this card wants you to make yourself aware of what that is. Make yourself aware of what's required, what responsibilities come with your goals, which is to get a job, what actions need to be taken, and what's the best way to take those actions in front of the other foot and move. Knight of Wands reversed. This is your first card. This card is saying that your end goal, your desires and your intentions have changed recently. So what you'd like to do. When I called for you, KM, I called for you like 8 times and you didn't answer, so you got skipped. Please join the queue again. What you desired, what you intended, these things changed. Something happened since this year started. In the last few months, something has happened that has caused your everything that you had been passionate about, everything that you did desire, and all the intentions you set to accomplish what you desire died and were reborn. Maybe that was the end of the job that you were doing, or maybe you quit that because you suddenly felt you were no longer passionate about it. Not so sure why this card has come up just yet. In the present we have Ace of Wands. So this is saying you got to be communicating. That's where you are right now. Like, you want a new job, you need to be communicating that, sending CVs, sending resumes, going for interviews, doing the communicating part. That's what this is. You want a job, so communicate about it. Do the communication process. That's the most important thing for you right now, is to keep applying and keep sending resumes and keep sending CVs. And when people tell you that you've got an interview, you go for that interview, and you don't hang on to any one of them. So you don't send a CV and like get caught up on that as your outcome, saying yes, this is the job that I'm going to get, this is what I want. No, you immediately forget it ever happened and you apply to the next one. Then you forget it ever happened and you apply to the next one until they get back to you. And then you go for interviews and you forget it ever the next one, etc. Until one of them gives you a job. Because if you get hung up on each one, then the chances are very slim. With every CV that you send, chances are very slim. So you need to send fuck tons before you actually have a reasonable chance. Queen of Swords is your third card, Emi. This is basically saying to you that anything that you want, you can make it happen. Queen energy is like, I want something, so I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to claim it for myself. So this that if you want something, you got to claim it. You got to set goals that you can accomplish reasonably that will bring you what you desire. And that is also saying to you that you don't need to get a job in order to get what you want. So what do you want? What is the key behind that I want a job? So that's the desire you have. What is behind that? You want financial security. Now, a job is not the only route. Employment is not the only route to that. And that's what this card is saying to you. You can find creative solutions to secure yourself. If you really do want a job, you can continue to apply for one, but don't wait for it. You can go ahead and start applying your creativity and starting a side hustle in the meantime. And who knows, maybe that little hobby or that little side hustle will become your main hustle. But yeah, this card is just saying that whatever you want, you can make it happen. And you don't have to wait for anyone else. Smita, welcome. Wants to know how will Ishanvi Chaudhary's Class 7 school final exam go? It's starting from tomorrow. You're in the queue. So, Cinderella was up next, and Cinderella has not confirmed, so I'm gonna put KM Batul back in place of Cinderella, and after that will be Lavena Asrani. When will KM have babies? Okay, so your first card is the Two of Swords. This is saying, basically saying that it takes two. Yeah, you can't have babies on your own, so your partner's got to consent. Basically, there has been a conflict. You want this thing, he wants that thing. Yeah, that's... Welcome back, Sapses, nice to see you. And welcome, Herman. But KM Batul, that card is just saying to you that there is conflict between purpose. There's conflict in goals here. Like you feel like your purpose is to have children and raise them. Partner is saying, hey, I want something else first. There are other things that I'm working towards first, and having children is going to get in the way of that. So there's been a little bit of like this conflict of opinions, conflict of desires and goals. Present interval is the Prince of Swords. And this card is just talking about overcoming challenges, limitations in your education and how much you know, and you've been working to overcome those things. Basically, if I have to take this into consideration with your question, you are doing research on possible causes for infertility. You're also doing researches on the different kinds of birthing methods, you know, like home births, water births, C-section, and all the benefits and detriments to those things. You're educating yourself, basically. Future interval is the Knight of... So this card here is asking you, why do you want to have children so bad? What's your intention? Do you feel like having children is gonna make your relationship better? Do you feel like having children is gonna give you purpose? This card wants you to really seriously ask yourself the question, what are my intentions? Why do I want this so bad? Because intentions need to be reborn before you actually go ahead and have children. Well, this card is saying that they will be reborn one way or another, whether you ask yourself these questions or not. Your intentions for why you actually want children is going to change before you actually have children. And that's kind of a requirement before the universe is going to give it to you. So Lavena is up next, and Lavena, I'm not going to ask that question. So we have Lavena, and then we have Shagan, and then we have V, and I didn't notice when V joined the chat. Hi again, can I know who is watching over me currently and why? Mr. V or Mrs. V, Miss V, welcome. So that was Lavena, then Shagan, and then V. And then Sahu, and then Jyoti. But yeah, I'm not going to ask the Teetara if you're going to be married in the next 3 months. Feelings and consistency today, eh? Yeah, that's the oracle of today. Today is like, we are aware of what's required of us in order to see our intentions realized. So yeah, so 3, the month is the 3rd. It's about becoming aware and what the responsibilities are in order to have our desires realized. And then 4 is about structure, routine, and consistency. So being consistent regardless of the emotional experience, regardless of external variables or unforeseen events, having consistency in the goals that are set. And feelings, yeah, I guess I chose feelings because it rhymes with readings. Lavena, I'm going to intuitively pick a question for you. Show Lavena what she needs to know about this relationship with Ankit. Two of Cups. That's your first card. This is actually a good card. This card is saying that this relationship with Ankit has taught you a lot about self-appreciation and self-love. It has taught both of you this. Perhaps when you went into the relationship, you were looking for fulfillment from him, and he was looking for fulfillment from you, but as a result of not being able to find that, you won't find that. If you're looking for fulfillment from an outside source, from anyone other than yourself, so as a result of not finding it, but still being committed to the relationship, you turned inwards and said, okay, how can I fill my own cup first and come to appreciate and love myself so that I'm full and I don't have to rely on him to fill me. So that's a really good thing. That's an important lesson that you've learned from this relationship. Present interval is number 4. It's called art. It's reversed. This card talks about having no temperance. Like being able to balance the relationship with your experience. So your experience then having difficult emotions, having strange thoughts, difficult thoughts, resentful thoughts or triggers, and then not being able to balance that experience with the actual relationship and the physical world. It just means that there's been a lot of turmoil recently. In the present there is quite a bit of turmoil, and you guys are not working together very well. Your plans seem to conflict with his plans, and you guys can't seem to compromise for one another. And what he's doing in his life doesn't seem to be compatible with your goals and what you want out of life, and vice versa. There's just no harmony, there's no temperance between your reality and his reality, or your experience and his experience. So that card has some advice. It is saying that you can be flexible. Your goal to exclude his, and his goals don't have to exclude yours. Your creative process can support his dreams, and his creative process can support your dreams, but currently as it stands, you guys are shutting each other out of your goals. What you want and what he wants, you're separating them as if they can't coexist, but they can coexist, and it will require flexibility from both of you, but it doesn't seem to be that either of you is willing to be flexible for the other one. Not at this point. Let's have a look at the future. So we have 5 of Swords in the future. So this card is saying that you are going to be applying yourself to your maximum potential. It's talking about these same goals and these same dreams that we saw here. So you're going to be doing the best that you can to make your goals happen, and he's going to be doing the best that he can in order to make his goals happen. But that you guys are compromising for one another. It doesn't mean that this art card is getting turned the right way around. You want this marriage so badly, and you're working so hard to make it happen, but he's working for something else. He's not even interested in the marriage right now. He's busy with whatever he's doing, whatever projects he's got going. Your project is making this marriage happen in 3 months. Something else entirely. You guys need to find a middle ground. Or otherwise you're just going to separate. You're just going to get further and further apart in your dreams and your missions until there's no common ground whatsoever. So you got to start compromising for him, and he's got to start compromising for you. Welcome, Chandray. Welcome back. There's no time window. Well, I had planned, basically the plan is to stick around until 9. But, you know, if things are looking up and looking busy, I'm gonna stick around. Otherwise, if things are looking quiet, I will leave at 9. So, we'll see how it goes. There's no time window. You're in the queue. Having a look to see how long we've been here. Only an hour. So next up is Shagun. Shagun, confirm you're here. Welcome Ritik. Shagun, please confirm you are here. Thank you, Lavena. Shagun, please confirm you are here. Last call for Shagun. Hallo, wil je vlees komen? Ja. Ik heb een botertje met een lekker. Ja. Oké. So Shagun is still not here. Miss V on YouTube is up next after Shagun. Miss V. Last call for Miss V, and then we're moving on to Sahu. Chandra, there were a lot of people, but then there were some network difficulties and some weird shit happened, like my alert boxes are not working, my donation box is not working. There's a lot of weird cuck going on, and so people left. So yeah, there might be a lot of requests, but most of those people are not here anymore. Sahu. Giodi. Who knows, Chandra, you might be next, because I'm just calling out the names and no one's answering. Sahu. Giodi. Smita. Yeah, Chandra, you're next, everyone. So, yeah. Don't know what happened to Streamlabs. Streamlabs had a little bit of a hernia. Oeh.
Ja, is toch paspoort, ik kom niet los.
Ik weet niet waar ons kan oor doen om.
Ja.
Ik weet niet waar ons kan oor doen.
Misschien moet je hem afzetten, hè?
Ja, ik zal hem afzetten en je kan later weer proberen.
Ja, kom maar morgen op.
Morgen ik rij 10 uur hoor.
10 uur?
Ja.
Oké.
My video is lagging. Yeah. The only anomaly. Welcome and thank you for joining, and thank you for joining Zapzest. And Nita Sign, welcome. Please bear with me, we're having a lot of technical difficulties this Friday. Bad network and yeah, Elements not working, Streamlabs has crashed. A lot of cuck is going on, but we will persevere. And a lot of interference as well. Okay. So, guidance and ancestors and ascended masters for Chandra. I'm gonna light these candles now. Some fire. Need some fire. I'm from Republic of South Africa. What guidance do the ancestors and ascended masters have for Chandra? Okay, so we got a full card for you, and basically that is saying you've just taken a quantum leap. This year, recently, just really recently, 2022 has looked like stepping into a new karmic cycle. Now, it was scary, letting go of the old, letting go of old patterns and making the changes that were necessary was a scary thing, but you didn't let fear deter you. Fear was biting into you, but you just looked straight ahead and you took that leap of faith anyway. Yeah, trusting in your own intuition, trusting in your own creativity, that no matter what you face in this new journey, you can overcome and you can make breakthroughs. There was a little bit more coming from there. It's saying that people are perceiving you as silly, like you're putting on this like silly show, but the truth is that you're just a little bit insecure. In this new journey that you've taken, you're only just other people that you're now meeting who have been in this like whatever this is. It's probably something to do with your spirituality. So you've stepped into a new journey in your spirituality, and these people that you're now interacting with have been on this journey a bit longer than you, quite a bit longer, so they know quite a bit more. And for that reason, you're feeling like insecure. So you put on this like playful, silly attitude in order to like cover that up. And for them, it's kind of annoying, but hey, it lasts so long, and then you're gonna know something. Gonna be feeling more secure in what you can do and who you are. So in the present we have a Knight of Discs. So this card is reversed, and right now this is saying that either you're moving or you lost your job. And this wasn't something you chose, so you didn't choose to quit or you didn't choose to move, but the universe decided it for you and evicted you, fired or whatever. Now yeah, there will be a part that you had to play in that, one way or the other, whether it is moving or if it's a job. You do have a part to play, but for the most part it's not something you chose consciously. Now the card wants to just inspire you and say to you this is all a good thing. It might feel painful and scary. Once again, it might feel scary, but it is going to bring you into closer alignment, and it's going to make it's opening up doorways for more authentic, a more authentic and secure living space, a more authentic and secure job or working position. So yeah, trust the process. Don't let the pain or the frightfulness of the situation deter you. Push forward, because this new beginning, the things that are opening up as a result of what's closing, will be what was there before. Thank you for joining the queue, Kumar. Eight of Cups reversed. Here's your future card. So this is saying as you go forward, be important. The people that you are surrounded with, there's imbalance between how much emotions and energy you give versus how much you receive. So as you go forward, some boundaries are going to be important. You're going to have to learn how to set healthy boundaries so that you can restore balance to how much you give versus how much you receive. You don't want your cup to be constantly drained by needy people, so you don't want to be draining others by being needy. So respecting boundaries and learning to set boundaries is what's on the horizon for you. And that is in the interest of recovering balance to your emotional being and your energetic being. My voice ain't coming through. So Chandray, I don't know who these people are. I don't know who you've been interacting with. Your ancestors are saying these people that you've been meeting know more than you do. They've been on this journey longer than you have. And you cover up, you can see that, and you cover it up with silliness. And they see that, and it's irritating for them. But you will grow, and you will become more secure in who you are and come to a close. And then you said, can I repeat the last part of the divination? So that was learning to set boundaries, learning to respect boundaries, because there are certain people who surround you who drain your cup, who are needy and take more of your energy and more of your emotional support than they're willing to give. And there are also times in your life when you've done that to others. So learning to respect the boundaries of others so that you don't drain their cup, and learning to set boundaries of your own so that your cup doesn't get drained. That is very important to you as you step forward. So I've repeated myself now twice. I'm not going to repeat myself again. Moving on. I think Zapzest is up next, but I'm going to confirm that. No, it's Ritik. You're going to have to join the queue again. V. Ritik is up next. Ritik, please confirm. Calling Ritik. Ritik Koshal. Nita sign. Ritik is here, cool. General reading for Ritik. And then after Ritik is Zapzest, and then the only anomaly. You're welcome, Chandre. I'm sorry about the freezing and the breaking up. Yeah, not much I can do about it. It seems that network has been atrocious lately. Thank you for joining the queue again, V. Sorry you missed your reading earlier. What advice and guidance does the universe have for Ritik Koshal? Before I turn that over, I'm just going to go and block that scammer. Lives in Pretoria, South Africa. Hey brother, sister, there are better ways to market yourself. So Ritik, your first card here is the 8 of Discs. Card is reversed. This card is saying to me that you've recently had to make some shifts and changes to your lifestyle. How much you spend, what you spend on, adjusting your priorities. What you consider to be essentials and things that you would buy when you go shopping. Basically, there were the amount that you've been earning has decreased, and so what you were spending was no longer able to balance with what you were earning, and so thus you had to make these changes in order to restore that balance between income and expense. That's coming to a close. You have found, or you have gotten closer to that point of balance. In the present, we have a 2 of Swords. So this is saying to you that there is potential for abundance and prosperity within your goals, the goals that you have set. And you've reached out for that potential, you've reached out for those opportunities, and you are working towards it, and that is commendable. And this card just wants to say to you, commit to it, because it's going to be a while before you start seeing the returns on how much you've invested of your time and of your energy into whatever these goals are. There is going to be time before that abundance or that prosperity becomes material and you can reap its harvest. So consistency and commitment is your key there. Future interval, Prince of Wands. He's reversed. So this Prince of Wands is saying to you that with this plan and these goals that you have, there are going to be a lot of distractions. Your desire, you might grow bored of what you're doing. You might desire other things or new things, or feel like you need to change what you're doing. And so this card wants to warn you of that there will be that moment of boredom, of discouragement, of demotivation, and feeling like you need to change direction. But it wants you to engage your potential and knuckle down and stay committed to what you have been working on, because consistency is your key. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what goals you set, there is abundance and there is prosperity there. It has that potential, no matter what it is you choose to do, what offerings you choose to give. But the only way you're going to see yourself realize that opportunity or that potential is to stay committed. So regardless of boredom, regardless of demotivation, stay committed to your goals that you have currently set. You can change your means, you can change the way that you accomplish your goals, but never change the goal. Not until you have accomplished it. You're welcome, Ritik. I'm glad that you were able to hear the reading and it didn't stick and freeze for you. Welcome, Marshall. You can get a reading. Just join that queue. So, Nita Sign, thank you for coming back. Thank you for following. I would have skipped and moved on to Zapzest, but I see you came back, so just confirm for me that you are still here and you didn't leave after you made that comment. Thank you for the follow again. And needing for you as soon as you confirm. Kumar, please stop like nagging. Just have patience. You are quite low down in the requests. Cool. Need a sign. Kumar, you are after Zapzest. You are the anomaly. I don't know if there's anyone else after them, but I know that you are after them. So please have patience. Thank you for confirming, Nita. I've been very disinterested with Twitch, Zapzest, and the only anomaly. I like this conversation you're having, but I have struggled to find very much of value on Twitch. Pretty much every day when I end my stream, I go and I search for various things on Twitch, and I never find what I'm looking for. I find other things, but never what I'm actually looking for and what I'm interested in. So it's been annoying, to say the least. I do learn though, when I look at other people and the way they do tarot streams, I learn from them, I take little notes. What is on the playing field for Nita Sign in 2022 and beyond? So your first card, Nita, is the Fool reversed. And that is saying that you've resisted the new karmic journey. You've resisted the new cycle. You've been in relationships in the past, and they all seem to be the same. Like, you're dating the same man with different faces again and again. You start new projects, and they only last so long before something happens and you can't continue with them. And you've been repeating this cycle. Not breaking that cycle. There are changes you have to make, you have to set new boundaries or adjust your own frequency in order to attract new kinds of people, and you have to commit to projects before they will actually see their completion. You have to acknowledge that no one besides yourself has the authority to prevent you from accomplishing your goals. So if your projects fail or you're unable to reach the end, you gave something authority to give it an end. And so by constantly blaming the environment, or constantly being like, why is this happening to me, but not actually making a change within yourself, that is how you ended up staying in those cycles. That's why they keep repeating themselves, because there are things that you've got to shift within yourself, but you keep saying no. You're waiting for the universe to change instead of change. If you want change in your exterior universe, you start by making that change in your interior universe. Present interval is the 8 of discs. So this is cool. This indicates that that period where you were resisting change has come to a close. You are examining yourself in the present, and you're saying, okay, what can I change? I want to be able to save more money. I want to be able to have more fulfillment in relationships. I want to be healthier. So because of these desires, you're looking at yourself and saying, what can I change? What can I cut out or let go of that will leave more room for abundance? And so that's what you've been doing. You've been choosing to spend less on luxuries and spend more on essentials. Things that are you're cutting them out so that you can create more room for things that are necessary. And that is very healthy, and that is a big shift to make. Well done for that. That change alone is a huge step and brings you out of this old cycle. Future interval is number 16 of the drums. It is the Tower, and it is reversed. So this is saying that as you go forward, you're going to encounter people, and the universe is going to present you with new opportunities and new circumstances that will put a strain on your identity, because it will require you to be more. It'll require you to be things that you are not actually capable of, that you believe you're capable of, but not actually. Believe you know how you can do that, and move into that cycle and become flexible with these new relationships and integrate these new circumstances. But those beliefs are not rooted on something secure or something true. They're rooted on fantasy. And so that's what's going to happen for you is, as you step out into this new reality, you're going to be made aware of those insecurities, the things that you're believing about yourself and what you're capable of that aren't true. And then you're going to be presented with a choice. You can either go back into that old cycle where you blame it on the environment and you blame it on other people and say, oh, because that happened, I wasn't able to succeed. Oh, because that person got involved, I wasn't able to succeed. So you'll have the choice to do that and justify yourself and go back to your old cycle, or you can acknowledge those insecurities and say, okay, I recognize that I have a part to play in this, and that I believed something about the universe or about myself that wasn't true. So now I'm going to work that out, and I'm going to found my identity instead on something that is true about myself, as productivity or creativity, such as honesty, such as compassion or empathy. And that is your reading. It is very important that you make that change. It's very important that you acknowledge your insecurities and you work them out and replace them with solid truths. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have that experience again and again, where the universe brings you new circumstances that make you aware of your insecurities and make your identity unstable. But if you can regularly self-reflect and identify the things about yourself that have changed, or the things that need to be changed, or if you're presented with new information, then integrating that and letting go of past beliefs because new information contradicts them. If you're doing that regularly, you can save yourself a lot of unnecessary pain. If you're not doing it, the universe will do it for you, and it will be painful. So Zap says you're up next. Zap says, as I join and talk to communicate to communities that resonate with me, I learned a lot about myself talking on streams though, but I usually watch variety. The only anomaly says, oh, I haven't really searched anything, just browsed. I started out with gaming, then decided to check out different communities also, and some hit home for me. This works for me because I don't leave my house. This is my socializing. Zap says, yeah, I've mostly just browsed and found communities by luck, I guess. Sometimes I just lurk or talk when I have the energy. It's nice to talk to streamers like old friends. So Zap, I remember you said you had a question, you had something on your mind, but couldn't really think of how to phrase it. Hello.
Hi.